Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today, in this brand new video, we're going to see whether the bear market has started in crypto. Because yes, right now, Bitcoin is dropping a lot, so I'm going to give you my opinion. Is this the bear market? Should you sell your crypto? I'll give you my opinion in this video. But first, don't hesitate to like the video, it really means a lot. Thank you to everyone who leaves a like. And subscribe to the channel if you want to see videos almost every day about crypto, about the crypto world. So don't hesitate, it really makes me happy. Also, there's a little bonus right now for anyone who wants to take advantage of it. As you can see at the bottom left, there's a direct $11,000 bonus on KuCoin with the code you see right here. You can also go to my YouTube channel and click on the link right here. And you'll also get access to the bonus by clicking on the KuCoin register right here. There you go, and you can create an account directly with an $11,000 bonus, as you can see right here, when you make your first deposits, etc. So it's really good to go through this. So let's get straight to the main topic of this video. Has the bear market started or not? So quite simply, as you can see, Bitcoin is at $94,000 right now. And things are looking really bad because if you look just a few days or weeks ago, we were at $126,000. And we're heading straight for a drop that would really hurt our wallets. So my direct opinion that I can give you is that yes, we are probably heading into a bear market. Maybe there will be a rebound right here. But you know, it might just be a small rebound that will immediately drop again, like what we experienced 4 years ago. Having gone through the bear market 4 years ago, so in 2021, I can assure you that I feel a bit like it's the same scenario, which could happen right away. We had a small top right here and another one a little later just here. And for me, this is really the phase where things could collapse. Like I said, I think there might be a small rebound towards 100,000, 105,000, but it's going to be very difficult to go higher. But of course, nothing is impossible in crypto. Also, if we look at the Bitcoin rainbow, the rainbow chart, we can see that Bitcoin is currently very, very low and that we haven't at all reached the cycle towards the orange or red zones, which could mean that yes, indeed, Bitcoin could go much higher, like to $150,000 or $200,000. But actually, the problem is that with each cycle, as you can see, the impact of the bull run has less and less effect. And that's normal. That's because more people already know about crypto. So there are, let's say, fewer new people compared to the beginning. If you look here in 2013, Bitcoin actually went way above the red zone. Then it reached the red in 2017. And then look, in 2021, it only went up to orange, almost yellow. And this year, it pretty much only went into the green. So could it go back here for a $150,000? It's possible. But nothing is certain. But I doubt we'll go straight to yellow or orange, or even the red. That seems almost impossible. And by the way, there's a new rainbow that was made in 2023. So a new rainbow chart. And look, this one is kind of the same. With each bull run, it goes just a little bit less high. So here we went above the red, then here we went into the dark red, and here just into the red, and maybe here we'll only reach the yellow or orange. So that's my opinion. However, there's also some good news in all this. It's that naturally, when the rises are less powerful, the drops are also less severe. That is to say, I would be surprised if we went back down into the blue zone like we've done so many times before. Personally, I would be surprised if Bitcoin dropped to $50,000. I think that even if we've already reached the small peak of the bull run here, well, Bitcoin will probably just stabilize in the end, maybe around $70,000 or $80,000, and little by little it will keep going from there. So, in the end, over time, I don't think there will be a lot of big drops, and it's going to keep rising steadily. And actually, look, even if it ends up here in the blue zone, that would still mean Bitcoin is at $80,000 to $100,000. So I think it's going to be much more stable over the next 2 years. I doubt it will hit the red or dark red zones, and maybe for the next bull run, it will be much more stable, just like it was here. A little rise here, a small dip there, another small rise here. So now, above all, we'll need to be patient. But the good thing is, it keeps going up, obviously, just like the rainbow chart itself rises. So, in my opinion, a little forecast. It will stay in the green, maybe in the blue, but over time it will gain value, even while staying in this zone, as you can see, and maybe take off again in a few years. But in this case, that's really a long-term prediction. We first need to see what happens here. There's also the scenario where there could be a huge rebound here, maybe reaching $150,000 or even $200,000. It's not impossible, but honestly, it still seems pretty unlikely. But it's not impossible, so there you go. As for me, if I had to give my own opinion, personally, I've sold quite a bit from my wallet. I'm keeping a little just in case, but that's it. I sold because it's getting pretty risky. We could end up with a very sharp drop here and maybe a rebound right here, who knows. But yeah, we're probably going to have to wait another year, maybe even 2, to see an interesting price on Bitcoin again. That's why I cashed out now. Honestly, I don't really feel like waiting a year or 2. I've got other things to do as well. So I personally sold part of my wallet. Of course, let me know in the comments what you guys are doing. Do you think we should hold everything or sell everything? Of course, let me know your opinion. Also, if we take a look at the altcoins, it's pretty disastrous. For example, with ETF, I think we've really seen a very weak ETF this year. During this bull run, it barely beat its all-time high that it set right here in 2021. But it couldn't even reach $5,000, and now it seems very difficult to get back there. But as I said, of course, what's rather positive is that, as you can see, the curve is still going up overall, so there's no issue with that. But when we find ETH in this area here, maybe it's the right time to buy. So maybe if it drops back to around $2,000 to $2,500, that could be a good buying zone for ETH. But overall, altcoins have really struggled during this bull run. It hasn't been like previous bull runs where their prices really skyrocketed. If we look here in 2018, ETH reached $1,000 and then went up to $4,000, almost $5,000 in 2021, only to end up doing the same thing in 2025. So it's pretty disappointing in that regard. We have plenty of examples with other altcoins, which didn't really climb that high in the end for a bull run. We were expecting much better from some altcoins. Look, for example, if we check Polkadot, it's the same story. It's disastrous. Look, in 2021, the price was $50. I don't know if you realize that. And now we've barely hit $10, which is really ridiculous. And now we're at $2.70. It's really terrible for DOT. All the best to it. So concretely, what's the best plan to actually make it through this bull run? Personally, that's just my opinion. I'm not telling you to do this or that. You do whatever you want. But personally, what I do is I sell quite a bit. I sold a little in that area. And I keep selling right now because it's really starting to drop sharply. But I don't sell everything, not 100%, so I can keep some in case it goes up. And if it goes back down, I'll just buy back in with what I sold. I think that's the best technique to use. Sell a little bit. And so if it goes back down, sell a little bit calmly. Or rather, buy calmly when it drops. And once it goes back up, well, sell a little bit, like we did here. But yeah, it's a game of patience. You have to be very patient if you want to use this technique. But it's the technique that works best in crypto since the cycles are 4 years long. So obviously you have to be very, very, very patient. And it's always those who are the most patient who win in this field. So there you go, take care of yourselves. Because obviously when the market goes into a bear market, if you haven't sold anything, well, you're really going to hurt your portfolio a lot. So you really have to be careful about that. Beginners, if there are any beginners listening to me, you see, you should always secure a little bit of profit. That's the technique. Even if it's only 20% or 25% of your wallet, it's always the right method. To sell a little when it's very high, because let me remind you, Bitcoin is still very high right now. Don't forget that barely 2 years ago, it was still stuck at 30,000. So I don't know if you realize, but right now it's at 3 times higher or even more. It was at 15K here, I remember, 3 years ago now. And now we're at 100,000 with a peak at 126,000. So be careful guys, it's really important to secure at least some profit if you were able to buy in during this rise or even before. Always secure at least a minimum so you can say to yourself, okay, I've locked in some gains. Even if it goes back down, you'll still be glad you took a little profit here. But if you keep waiting and get too greedy, you could end up with minus 60%, 70% in your wallet. And that's really not enjoyable at all. With that, I'll leave you. That was my opinion on the bear market. I think it's coming very strongly, so be careful. Of course, this is just my opinion, as I said. Don't hesitate to subscribe and like this video. Thank you to those who do and to everyone who wants to take advantage of the bonus. feel free to check out my YouTube channel and click on the link right here to take advantage of the current $11,000 KuCoin bonus. So don't hesitate. With that, see you next time. Ciao, ciao.